the sweaty start of America. Let's rewind to Philadelphia, summer of 1776. No air conditioning, no fans, just heat, humidity, and a room full of founding fathers in wool suits and wigs. Imagine Thomas Jefferson, John Adams, and Benjamin Franklin all sweating through their clothes, trying to write the Declaration of Independence. John Adams later complained about the heat, the flies, and the misery of it all. It's a miracle the Declaration doesn't just say, "We're leaving, it's too hot." They were breaking up with the most powerful king in the world, King George III, and every word had to be perfect. Ben Franklin probably wished he could invent a personal fan, while Jefferson just wanted a breeze. The whole revolution could have been postponed if someone had said, "Let's finish this in the fall." So next time you're at an air-conditioned 4th of July party, remember, the founders suffered through heat and flies so we could argue about hot dogs. They wrote one of history's most important documents while battling summer misery. Their dedication is impressive, or maybe they just wanted to get outside for fresh air. The fact that they finished it all is a testament to their determination. So as you enjoy your fireworks and cold drinks, pour one out for the original crew. They gave us freedom, and probably a new appreciation for modern comfort. The next time you see a Declaration of Independence, picture it written by a bunch of guys desperate for a breeze. That's the real sweaty start of America. And that's why the 4th of July is more than just a party, it's a tribute to perseverance. So hats off and wigs off to the founders. They earned it. Why break up with Great Britain? 2 reasons. Nobody likes being bossed around or paying for stuff they don't want. The British taxed the colonies on paper, glass, paint, and especially tea. Colonists hated it. Like paying for your parents' Netflix but not getting the password. No taxation without representation became their rallying cry. They wanted a say, not just to be treated like a piggy bank. Things boiled over with the Boston Tea Party in 1773. Colonists dumped 92,000 pounds of tea into Boston Harbor. It was a massive, messy protest that infuriated the king. Britain cracked down with the intolerable acts, closing Boston Harbor and taking away freedoms. Instead of backing down, the colonies united. They realized complaining wasn't enough. They had to act. That's what led them to that hot room in Philadelphia, ready to risk everything for a voice. It all started with a simple demand. Let us decide our own future. The rest is history. And it all began with tea and taxes. The Declaration of Independence, America's birth certificate, but with drama. Thomas Jefferson wrote most of it, but he had help from the Committee of Five: Adams, Franklin, Sherman, and Livingston. It was a group project. Jefferson wrote, everyone else edited. Congress made 86 changes, even cutting out Jefferson's attack on the slave trade to keep the southern colonies on board. The final document was a compromise, not a perfect manifesto. And no, it wasn't signed by everyone on July 4th. The text was approved that day, but most signatures came a month later, on August 2nd. Some signed even later. Think of it as a very slow RSVP. The official signed copy is in the National Archives, but hundreds of printed Dunlap broadsides spread the news. Only 26 of those survive today, a true historical jackpot. The Declaration told the world, we're a new country, get used to it. It was bold, messy, and revolutionary, and it changed everything. That's the real story behind America's most famous breakup letter. Not just words, history in action. We celebrate on July 4th, but John Adams thought we got it wrong. He believed July 2nd, the day Congress voted for independence, was the real deal. Adams even wrote to his wife predicting July 2nd would be celebrated forever. He was so sure he refused July 4th invitations for years. But July 4th stuck because that's the date on the Declaration and the one printed on all the copies. It's like a movie premiere. Everyone remembers the big release date. History isn't always neat. It's a series of moments. July 2nd was the decision. July 4th was the announcement. Over time, the 4th became the day everyone remembered. Maybe we should celebrate both. More hot dogs for everyone. Either way, it's all about the birth of a nation, and a good excuse for fireworks. The first Independence Day parties were wild, louder and rowdier than today. In 1777, Philadelphia celebrated with parades, music, and a 13-cannon salute. Toasts were everywhere. Cheers for Congress, Washington, and the new flag. Some people even baked gunpowder cakes. Yes, actual gunpowder in the batter. Don't try this at home. Mock funerals for King George were popular, complete with burning effigies and bonfires. It was all about making noise and showing defiance. Artillery competitions were a thing. Cannon crews battled for bragging rights. Imagine that at your family barbecue. These celebrations were raw, proud, and a little dangerous. They reflected a young nation still fighting for survival. The 4th was less about relaxing, more about declaring independence, loudly. Today's parties are tame by comparison, but the spirit, bold, united, and a little rebellious, remains. That's how America first celebrated freedom, and why the 4th is still a blast. Fast forward, today's 4th of July is all about family, food, and fireworks. We've swapped gunpowder cakes for hot dog eating contests and parades for backyard barbecues. Americans spend billions on food. Over 150 million hot dogs are eaten every year. That's enough to stretch from DC to LA 5 times. Fireworks are the main event. Over $2 billion spent annually. From big city shows to backyard sparklers, lighting up the sky is a must. But with all the fun comes risk. Thousands end up in the ER from fireworks. So safety first. At its heart, the 4th is about community, gathering with friends, sharing a meal, and celebrating together. We wear red, white, and blue, listen to music, and enjoy the summer night. The cannons are gone, but the spirit of celebration is stronger than ever. It's a day to feel united and proud. The core idea remains: freedom, togetherness, and a little bit of noise. So enjoy the party, and remember what it's all about. Happy birthday, America. Here's a fact that sounds made for a movie. Thomas Jefferson and John Adams, rivals, friends, and 2 key founders, both died on July 4, 1826. Exactly 50 years after the Declaration was approved. Their lives were full of arguments, reconciliation, and deep reflection on the Revolution. They were the last of the original Committee of 5. Adams' last words were, "Thomas Jefferson survives," not knowing Jefferson had died hours earlier. The news stunned the country. People saw it as a sign that America was special. Their deaths on the nation's birthday added myth and meaning to the holiday. It became more than just a date. It was destiny. The story gives you goosebumps. It's a perfect, poetic ending for 2 of America's greatest figures. The 4th of July became legendary, and their legacy lives on every year. So, what's the 4th of July really about? It's more than fireworks and hot dogs. It's a celebration of a bold idea. In 1776, the world was ruled by kings. The colonists said, "We have a better idea." They declared that government gets its power from the people. The Declaration's words, "life, liberty, and the pursuit of happiness," were revolutionary. People risked everything for that idea, not just generals, but ordinary folks. The revolution was sparked by courage, conviction, and small acts of bravery. That's the real spirit of Independence Day. It's a reminder that big change starts with bold ideas and brave people. The US is still an experiment, always striving for a more perfect union. So as you watch the fireworks, remember the spark that started it all. Celebrate the courage of those who came before, and keep the spirit of freedom alive.